We're the 9th of April 2025, and what time is it now? 6 o'clock? Yeah, 6 o'clock. 6 a.m. So the alarm went off at 5 this morning. Let me tell you what saved the day here. And people say that a good morning saves the day. So I turned the alarm off, which was next to me. And the only reason I got up because my phone was going in the office and it wouldn't shut up. So I got up. That's the key, people. Have your alarm clock away from where you're sleeping, so you have to get your lazy fat ass out of bed. So that's what I did, okay? Because the lazy fat ass right now is me. Right. Here's the takeaway from this morning. I've been out for the runs for the last few days, and even though I've kind of just trotted, I wouldn't even qualify it as a run. Just trotted along for about 2.5 miles. Finished off with a walk back. And I tell you what happens when you're fat, when you're overweight, when you're trying to do something. Okay, I'm running, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of keeping all my energy within me. I'm not expelling the energy, and what I mean by that is in energy production, energy depletion, the energy stays within. Okay, so the good energy gets developed and the bad energy stays there. And I tell you what, my legs are as stiff as hell. I've never experienced anything like it, where usually I would squat really, really heavy, and a couple of days later my legs were really stiff. It's never happened on a run. And I tell you why it's happening is because the energy is staying within, because I'm just trotting along. And if you're just getting started with your running or whatever you're doing for physical exercise, if you don't excel or expel that energy in the right way by relaxing and just on a psychological level expelling your energy, you've got your good energy inside and you're expelling the bad energy. And you can do this as simple as running, as breathing, where you breathe in the good energy, you can feel it circulating, and then out the mouth the bad energy comes out. Now when I run, okay, the best way I used to describe it to my karate students is that you just get out the shower and you're shaking the water off. You're shaking the water off. So when you're running, you're shaking the water off. You're expelling the energy, and you've got this cycle of energy production and energy expellation or expiration or whatever it is. Expiration. And right now what I'm doing is, because I'm shuffling along, because number one, I'm not having any carbs. That's quite evident, really, and I'm blowing out within 2 miles, and I'm kind of energy depleted because all I'm doing right now is I'm on carnivore. So there's got to be some experimentation done with the nutrients, because you can't, unless the body adapts, which really it should do. It's not up to me to give the body what it wants, because all the body wants is fucking bars of chocolate and cereals. That's what it's demanding right now. It ain't getting it, so it's not producing what I want it to do, but it will. Okay, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens, rather than giving into what the body wants. Make the body adjust. And this is one of the big things when you start the carnivore diet. You go from being sugar and carb dependent to being fat dependent, and your body massively alters as a result. And you see people on the carnivore diet, and 1 minute you'll see them their usual little plump cheeky self, and the next minute you'll see them as some chiseled, Adonis, and you think, Jesus, what's up with him? Energy flow. And as soon as we start getting into flow, we can start relaxing on the runs, and we can start going faster and depleting the bad energy and developing more good energy. So when we get back from a run, not only do we feel more refreshed, but we're also improving the physiological and the psychological development of what we're doing. And that's really where it's at. So it's all good, I'm sweating like a pig to say that I've only been, and it's quite cool out there. Last couple of mornings have been quite frosty. I tell you something else as well, is that when you get up, when your usual routine for getting out of bed is getting out of bed at 7:30 in the morning, because most people do 9 to 5, so that's generally what most circadian rhythms are in tune with. You get up at 7:30 and you expect people to be in the streets, you expect life to be going. When you get up at 5 o'clock, your kind of expectations are it's going to be absolutely silent, and all you're going to see is like cats. And it's not. There's more people about at 5 o'clock because we've got quite a lot of industry, where I am. People going to the sort of 5:30, 6 o'clock shifts, and that's a bit of a that's a bit unfortunate, because when you get up at 5 and go for a run, you expect it to be. I like the streets to be clear, and I like to get the morning air for myself. I actually started running at 4 yesterday because I couldn't get out. I couldn't get to sleep, so I got up at 4 o'clock, went out for a run, and it was nice and quiet. Okay, so if you want to be elite when you do this, I would say you want to be getting up at 3:30 in the morning. Get up at 3:30 and make sure you get to bed at 8, 7:30. In fact, last night, I tell you what, this ridiculous sleeping pattern I've got. I woke up and I've not been drinking enough, so I've been a little bit more dehydrated. So I need to monitor that more. I did have a lot of water yesterday, but yeah, I woke up and it was 20 past midnight, and I was like, I went to bed at 11 o'clock, and my usual routine for going to bed was put the telly on, chill out in front of the telly, which is ridiculous. You never want to do that, because you end up with a bad sleep, because you're programming your mind with stuff that you shouldn't really be watching before you go to bed. What you want to be doing before you go to bed, get into your own head. Okay, and the best way to go to bed is to be thankful, to have gratitude for things that you've got and things that the day has brought. Even though if the day's brought a pile of shit, which sometimes it does, still be gracious and have gratitude for the things that have gone well. And those are the thing. It's difficult sometimes as an online business owner or as an active person not to engage the brain into, okay, we'll do this tomorrow, we'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll do these 3 things. And then suddenly you've got this 15-point list that you can't get out of your head. But I went to sleep and woke up at 20 past 12, and I thought, I don't want to be in a position where I can't sleep again. Thankfully, I actually went back to sleep. The alarms went off, and again, what saved me was the old mobile in the office, which is set for 5, which I would probably still be in bed if that hadn't gone off. So that's another takeaway for today. Make sure you put your alarm clock away from your bed, so you've got to physically get up and turn it off. So energy flow, it's so important to start thinking about where is your energy going, and where's the good energy, and how do you dispel the bad energy. And that's a lot of takeaway for a 2.5 mile run on stiff legs. And my legs were stiff, but what I always find is the worse you feel before you do something, the better the performance usually in the end. If you want to go for a run and your legs are stiff, if you want to go into a business meeting and you're worried and you're nervous, sometimes those can be the best meetings, because you're preparing yourself in the best way. When you're not nervous, if you're too overconfident and you're too arrogant about what you've got, then you don't always get the best results. Okay, the best results come from people that are humble and are willing to do whatever it takes. Right, that's another diary entry for today. Quite a deeper one, but it's deeper because things are happening. And what you'll find in this process is that you will unblock the flow. You will start unblocking those energy flows. You'll start unblocking those creativity flows. And you'll start also to develop or unblock the flows that have been leaving us behind or holding us back. Things like the confidence flows, the self-esteem flows, the flows that used to flow when you were a kid naturally, and suddenly they've blocked. and you need to get rid of them and start the flow again. And everything in business and life is about balance and flow and timing and being in tune with yourself and nature. Right. Until next time.